Hey guys, welcome back. Jay here for another episode on the My Team Career Mode series for Season 2 on F123 for the British GP. We've got a special livery for episode 25 today. It should be a good race. We had a race I'd rather not talk about in Season 1. It was a pretty bad race in Season 1, but all you can do is hope for the best in this race. So that's all I'm going to do. If you didn't see the last episode, in Canada we got points once again. Safety car came out towards the end of the race. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend you go and check it out and see the decision I have made in the next race before Belgium, which will be just before the season break. I am going to replace our teammate Mr. Oscar Piastri. He's just not working for me, and I've got my eyes set on a driver, but we're gonna have to see how it plays out in the Silverstone GP and see what happens with that driver that I'm eyeing out and see if he wants to come and sign for our team. So let's get straight into the practice. First off, going for the easier. Just going for some of the easier options so we can get some resource points, some discounts on some upgrades, so we can go into the next couple of races a bit stronger than we are right now. We are pretty strong, but I would like to just be that extra wee bit stronger. We've competed for points the last couple of races, and I'll want to try and keep that momentum going here in our My Team Career Mode series and see if we can challenge for podiums once again like we did at the end of season 1 and kinda at the start of this season. But through to the final practice session just before qualifying, looking at some of the upgrades that we can do. Okay upgrades, but let's get straight into qualifying. So out for our first lap in Britain for the British GP. Hopefully it'll be a good race. I don't know why I say Britain like I'm trying to be formal. Silverstone for our first lap, going through the loop there, coming round the left-hander now, getting a nice line shot on to the straight. Under the bridge we go now. What is our first sector? Obviously going to be our green. First sector, we're going to cross the line though to go fastest. And we have some pace in this car. We might we have some decent pace in our car right now. This might be pretty decent, but we are going to go for our third lap now, because that was just a cool down lap that you saw. Started to slow down on the straight, but now round the left hander, now through this right hander on the run down in to the loop. I'm pretty sure this one is, and if not, it's Village. As we come round the left hander now, getting another nice long slingshot on to this straight. We are going to come under the bridge now, passing it into the braking zone. We do set fastest sector 1. Where are we going to place? We're going to cross the line. We're going to go by the end of Q1. We are going to finish P2 in the standings for our first qualifying run in Silverstone, and we have some pace. We're only a tenth off of Pierre Gasly, the man that I am looking at for our teammate for the rest of the season and maybe even season 3. And he impresses by going quickest in Q1, as yes, it is only Q1, but you'll be able to see who's fastest or not. But we are going to go through the first turn now, and now through the second left-hander on the rundown into this long tight right-hander, now into the shorter left-hander there. Proper hairpin, a wee bit slidey on the rear end. We're going to get a nice flying shot on to the straight, deploying DRS obviously on the run down into the left-hander, setting a green sector 1, green sector 2. We are going to cross the line to go fastest once again in front of George Russell in that Mercedes, and we again have some good pace in the car, but we also have a problem with our engine, and that's going to slow us down through the weekend. But by the end of Q2 we are going to finish P2, right behind George Russell, who decided he wanted to go just behind Fernando Alonso. He got topped by George Russell. I thought it was George Russell that slingshotted up, but only 0.006 off of Fernando Alonso as we go into Q3. For our first run in Q3, we're going to come across the line to start our run. We are P9 as we are the 9th driver to go out and set a time by the end. Probably going to be the 10th because someone's going to cross the line and set a time, but round the right hander we go. Now the car feels absolutely amazing, coming to life. Even though the problem with our engine, I'm pretty sure it's our gearbox, we do still feel quite alive with the car. If you didn't, what we learned last time is that Fernando Alonso is still got it in him to win a race as we come around the final section, round the final turn. We are going to come across the line to go fastest once again in front of Lewis Hamilton, and we are going to go faster than Lewis Hamilton in front of his home crowd, but we are going to cross the line about 2 tenths down on our time. But we are going to start the race in the front row. First time on the front row since Las Vegas last season. We ended up going to win that race, so hopefully we can do the exact same as we did in Vegas and go on to win. One thing is we had a red flag in Vegas, but here we go to the race.
But also the birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone, a classic on the calendar, and it's time for the British Grand Prix. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, and Iceman completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Leclerc, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Verstappen, Sainz, Gasly, Stroll, Bottas, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Magnussen, Joe, Iwasa, Sargent, De Vries, and Liam Lawson. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Lighting up on the grid now for the Silverstone GP. Looking at our strategy, we are going to go hards to medium slow in the fuel, so we can stay nice and lighter than the other drivers. But to the 4 and now 5 red lights in, and now as lights out and away we go. It's a good start from me, but it's a bad start for Lewis Hamilton, and we jump him straight away. So it's George Russell that we jump, and we've got past him by turn 1, miles past him by turn 1. We didn't have to worry about him going side by side with us through turn 1. Now through the right hander for turn 3 and the left hander for turn 4. We're in front of George Russell right away, and we've had an absolute blaster of a start here in Silverstone on the hard compounded tyres. We've warmed them up a lot faster than George Russell somehow, but we are going to come around the left hander now into Brooklands. Now we're right, and George Russell's right on my gearbox as we open the corner up on the exit on the run down into Cops now. Hopefully we don't have a 2021 situation with me and George Russell, where we're going to come around the right hander, turning in really sharply there. We are still ahead of George Russell, but he gets a good run on me as we go on the run down into Maggotts and Beckett's. He does get a good run on me, though I have to take a slightly wider racing line to keep my position through Maggotts and Beckett's, but we are still ahead of George Russell on lap 1 of this race. But there goes Lewis Hamilton trying to get past George Russell with teammates side by side going through the right hander. They're still side by side going down into the Vale chicane, and Lewis Hamilton gets past George Russell his teammate, and that will make for an interesting dynamic. Maybe the two Brits will fight and we can go on to just pull away a bit, and that's what happened through the first sector. We pulled away from Lewis Hamilton just a wee bit. Second fastest sector 1, and as you can see there, Lewis Hamilton spun it. He spun it in his yellow flag in sector 2, and it's a massive pile up. You can see there, it's the red flag. It went from virtual safety car to red flag real quickly, stopping the car on the track, and you just saw the massive pile up there. Oh my god, there's red flags on lap 2 of this race, and you can see here, as you can see my car just there, Lewis Hamilton loses it halfway through Brooklyn, tries to slow down the car, but there's a massive pile up, and that's why there'll be a red flag, not just because of the debris, because of the mass amounts of cars that are just sitting there. But we do have red flags in Silverstone on lap 2 of this race, and we will restart on lap 4, and we'll be able to go straight onto the mediums for the rest of this race. But as you can see, there is raining here in Silverstone. Lewis Hamilton has a 5-second time penalty. He hasn't DNF. We do get a really good start. Lewis Hamilton does get a good start as well, because it's a wee bit rainy, it's a wee bit slidey, but we do stick ahead of Lewis Hamilton through turn 1 and turn 2. But he is going to look to have an inside through turn 3, doesn't go for the move. We do stay ahead of him through turn 4 now on lap 4 of this race. As you can see there, it is, you can visibly see the rain now, and last time we saw rain, it was too late to switch onto the intermediate it was too wet to switch onto the intermediate tyres, but we do still have about 15 laps of this race left, so we will have enough time to switch over if we do need to. But now down the straight here goes Lewis Hamilton, looks to have a look of the inside. We do go a wee bit wide because it's a bit slippery, but nothing too drastic, and he's going to do what his teammate did, and we're just going to try and keep him at bay. We do get a really bad line through there, but the safety car is out straight after the red flag. The safety car is out, and it's probably because of damage to Charles Leclerc's car that Lewis Hamilton, that he ran in him after we had to take a wider outside line, and Lewis Hamilton had to back out of that one. And it is just in terms of drama, it's like our first race in Silverstone. We're going to have to stay behind the safety car as it will go in this lap. Yes, it will. I'm controlling the pace of the safety car for the first time since Mexico, which was our first race win in our My Team career mode, and hopefully we can go on to get our third win. And it does look promising, but on lap 6 the rain is still visibly there. It's not too heavy though, but on lap number 6 now, coming through the final bit of Vale Chicane, coming through the final turn now, I'm going to hit the gas and I'm going to go. And Lewis Hamilton, I think I've caught him napping just a wee bit, but he is starting to get a slipstream, and it is the grip on it. I don't know if it's just the tyres, but the grip is starting to wear out of the tyres, but it might just be the wet conditions that it's a wee bit risky, as I have to lift off the throttle through there. Not going full throttle, because if I'm going to guess if I did, the car would have spun it into an absolute mess and caused another safety car or red flag. But through this left-hander, Lewis Hamilton is just behind me, and I don't have to worry about him for overtaking me, as he's just behind me as we go through the down the straight now on the run down into Cops, as George Russell gets a weird line through there, but through Cops now, keeping it nice and tight, and it's a good line for me, and Lewis Hamilton doesn't look too dangerous. But George Russell's attacking his teammate through Maggots and Beckett's, and he looks like he has some pace in the wets on the medium set of tyres, but he is going to go for the outside line, but there wasn't enough room for the inside line through Stone. Now it was the outside line down the straight, but now it's the inside line through Stone. He goes for the switchback as I go wide, and it is paid off for him to go down into the Vale Chicane. He's going to try the long way about. I'm going to try the inside, just giving him just enough room, squeezing him just a wee bit, so he backs out. But on lap 7 of this race now, we are still in the lead on lap 8 now, as we've led on to lap 8. But now as we go through the final bit of sector 1, George Russell gets past me, and so does Lewis Hamilton briefly, and we've lost the position to George Russell, and I think it's going to be like that. I am going to try and go up the inside, but I think that is the end of our reign in the top spot. But it is so slippery right here. I don't know why nobody else is thinking about it. I'm going to go onto the inters, I think, by the end of this lap. Maybe a lap later, but it's just way too wet for me anyways. I just can't control the car. I can't get a good line through these turns to catch up with George Russell, as Lewis Hamilton is going to get a good run on me on the run down into Stone. But we are deploying ERS just to try and stick with George Russell, trying to take that tight inside line, but hitting the throttle, it's so hard to keep it on track. So I am going to come into the pits, and hopefully we can get a good pit stop here in Silverstone. We do get a good turn in, hopefully we do get a good pit stop as well. We do get a good pit stop, and we're going to have to go on a charge now for if we have any chance of points in this race. But now on lap 13 of this race, there's yellow flags ahead, as you can see there. Who's spun it? Alexander Albon has spun it. He's lost control of his car, and we're up into P21. At least we are not last if this is where we finish. If Alexander Albon can't catch up to us, which I don't think he will, because our pace on the inters does look promising. Green sector 1, that's promising. Even though I've got the fastest lap, it's promising that we've got a green sector 1 under our belt with the intermediate and tyres on. So maybe it's just not time for it. As Valtteri Bottas has went off track and rejoined just in front of me. We do get a good line through Brooklyn though. We're going to get a good run on them down the hangar straight. We do be getting past him on the run down into Cops. Hopefully we've got enough grip to just keep it on track. We do have enough grip to just keep it on track, and now we're going to have to try and chase down Logan Sargent in P19. So we might have a chance of getting points with the pace that we are carrying right now, but we only have 5 laps to do it, and if we somehow get points, yes, on the intermediate conditions of tyres, then we might have some more grip than the cars in front of us. But even if we get points, it will be a miraculous comeback. We do get past Logan Sargent, going up into P19 with Nick de Vries, who's still in Formula 1, and Awumu Iwasa, who was our teammate in Season 1 for the first half of Season 1 anyways. But we do get a good exit, so we do get a good slipstream on Nick de Vries. We're going to take the inside line, and we're going to get just past him, I think. Yeah, we're just going to get past him before Cops, but now we're going to try and get a good exit through that left-hander, getting the switchback on Iwasa. We do get past him, we're up into P17, and now we've got 3 laps to get up into the point paying positions. We've got 7 drivers to overtake, 8 drivers if we want to get to P9. Can we do it? And if we can, again, it will be a miraculous comeback. There is Charles Leclerc in front of us. We are going to try and get a good run out the last turn, getting on the throttle nice and early. We've got tyre wear, as you can see there, down in the bottom right hand corner, and our engine is starting to give up on us just a wee bit as well. We do get past them, lunging down the inside, struggling to keep it on track, but we're going to lunge down the inside of Guan Yu Zhou. We're getting past him, we're up into P15. We might just have a chance of points, as we've now only got 3 laps left of this race, 16, 17 and 18, but we are going to try and get a good launch on Liam Lawson. We're going to deploy ERS down the straight now into the left hand on the run down, on the setup into Brooklands, and there's our teammate in front of us, Oscar Piastri, just in front. We're going to get past our teammate easily there, as he's had a bad exit. You could already see it through the turn. We get a better exit, but we're going to try and round the outside on the run down into Cops. He's just going to be beside us, 2 Cops. We do get past him, 3 Cops, and we're up into P13, and now we've only got still 3 laps. But there's Sergio Perez. He's spun it and he's out of the race, and we're up into P13. That is, P12. That's a free position there, and we're going to have to worry about 1 less driver, and there's Lance Stroll just ahead of us, and Pierre Gasly is 4 seconds ahead of us. Can we have a chance? We've got 2 laps to get points. We're going to get just past Lance Stroll there, round the right-hander hairpin on the setup into the left-hander hairpin. And there's Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz ahead of us. They're the 2 points, 10 positions. We're going to get past Pierre Gasly, I'm going to assume. Yes, we're going to get past them through Stone. We're going to get the good run on Carlos Sainz. We're going to try down the inside, we're up into proper points paying positions. We may have a chance to get more points on the final lap with P8 and P7 being up for grabs, being Kevin Magnussen and Yuki Tsunoda. It will be a miraculous comeback on the final lap. We're going to dive down the inside of Kevin Magnussen, having just that more grip, even though our tyres are absolutely shot. As we go around the left-hander, we do get a good run on the Guan Yu Zhou. We're going to go right the outside and up into P7 of this race, going from last position up into P7. It's not quite last to first, but it's last to points. As we come round the Vale chicane now, George Russell wins the British GP. I think it was going to be set in stone from the moment he overtook me. We are going to come around the final turn now to come 7th from last in the British GP.
Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
There they go, George Russell celebrating another win, as he's probably going to increase his lead in the championship, overtaking Lewis Hamilton, who got a 5-second time penalty, and both of the McLaren drivers are on the podium, similar to real life, but not both, just one with Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton, who was a third place, but Max Verstappen won instead of George Russell. But Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris getting on the podium. Good result for McLaren at their home race, and it's a good result for George Russell at his home race. It was definitely a good race, and we do get fastest lap as well, so we get an extra point. It was originally going to be 6 points, but we do get 7 as our fastest lap is about 2 to 3 seconds faster than everybody else's fastest lap, so something to celebrate about, definitely. Our teammate moves up into P13, he doesn't get points though, as we overtook him to get up into 7th. We do go from 7th, from 2nd on the grid to 7th, a bit of fall of grace, but that's what the records will show. Started 2nd, finished 7th. But the race, that was definitely a good one. The red flags on lap 2 and yellow flags with a safety car on lap 4. We do get a lead on Charles Leclerc in our rival breakdown head to head. That's pretty good. We stay on level 13 of acclaim. But in the next episode, we will be signing a new contract with either our teammate right now or Pierre Gasly, who might be a driver of interest. But you'll have to find that out in the next episode for the Belgian GP for episode 26. I will see you next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, helps the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.